Hi again, folks. The semifinals is upon us. I'm going to give you my two predictions and why. Coming up. All right, guys, let's take a look at this. I will try to break it down logically best I can, but I tell you, I get emotionally involved too when I make these calls. So far in the playoffs, I was 7-1 in the first round. Not bad. I mean, the first round was pretty predictable, so I should have been at least 6-2. So should have you. A lot of those series were kind of predictable. And I was 3-1 in the second round. I called Carolina wrong, and Carolina was my pick to go all the way this year. So last year I had picked Vegas to win the Cup over the Islanders in the finals. They both made the Final Four at least. I didn't get one Final Four team right this year. Well, I didn't do it from the beginning either. So yes, I guess I could. I didn't do the, I did the whole breakdown, the bracket and everything last year. And I had, I forget who I had. I had Edmonton in the Final Four last year, losing to Vegas, right? And in the East, I can't remember. The Islanders and it might have been Tampa. Might have been Toronto. I can't remember. Yeah, it had to been a Canadian team over there. Right. Anyway, let's go on. Let's move on with this. Okay, I'm going to start with the East. I'm going to give you what I think. I'll break it down best I can, just what I see with my eyes. I'm going to say that I'm going to look at the two teams. Okay, now the Rangers just came off a high, okay, which can backfire, but they're on a very good high right now after winning yesterday. And I think that team is a team on the rise. It's a young team, which young teams are unpredictable. I've always said that. Young teams are unpredictable. They got a great goalie, a great coach. They're well coached. This for a young team is a very disciplined bunch, guys. It really is. You don't hear much crap about them off the ice or nothing. This team just seems like they're all business. They're not very intimidated by many teams. And let's talk now about the team they're facing, the champions. They're up against a very hard-nosed champion who have a lot of, not just experience in that dressing room, a lot of heartbreak, okay? They went through a lot of heartbreak for years. Let's not forget Tampa. The fans that just hate on Tampa forget the story of them losing in the finals to Chicago and things like this along the way, losing. You know, these guys have been through wars and come off on the bad end of it. And they, I think, after losing to Columbus the way they did, embarrassing themselves after a record-setting season for their franchise, I think were so determined. That was it. That was it. That's how I felt. Once they lost to Columbus, I felt like they were christened champions. I really did. I felt like they were champions from that moment on, before it was official. That's just how I felt about Tampa Bay. I said, you know what? They're winning the Cup next year for sure. And when they repeated last year, I mean, we can look at 10 reasons why it could have and should have happened, but that doesn't really matter. To win back-to-back in itself is hard, especially in this era, guys. Now, trying to be a dynasty is a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing. And that goes out the window if they lose. I don't care if they win. I don't care if Tampa lose and then win the Cup next year. In my books, they're never a dynasty. They're just not. 3 out of 4 is not a dynasty for this fan. No, I'm old school. I go by the old rules that were in place long before this generation of kids now termed everything a dynasty and watered it down. No, you got to win 3 in a row. And they have the best chance in the NHL since the New York Islanders to do that, really, because the Oilers didn't get it done. And I always call the Oilers an era, not a dynasty. 5 out of 7 is an era. It's just, you got to do the 3 thing in this guy's head. So they have a great chance to get this done. And I'm going to, in this series, I'm going to go with an upset. I think the Rangers are young. They're on the rise. They got the goalie. And they just seem to, I just got this feeling about the Rangers. I go with gut feeling at this time of the year. So that's why I'm usually off when I'm in the Final Four. You know, I'm going to go with the Rangers in 7. in this series. I think home ice is going to prevail. And I think Shesterkin is so in the zone right now. He looks 10 feet tall in nets. And yes, so does Vasilevsky. I just got a feeling that the team climbing the mountain sometimes is a little hungrier than the team at the top. And we'll just see if I'm right. I got Rangers in 7. Now, moving over west, the Oilers and the Avalanche, we all know, are long overdue. The Avalanche are long overdue for this run. The Oilers, I'm not surprised to see them in a deep run. It's about time. They have Connor McDavid. They have Leon Draisaitl. Nurse is coming into his own as well. Mike Smith, it's his last hurrah, last shot at a cup, most likely. And these guys seem to be peaking at the right time. And as much as Evander Kane is hated by many fans in this league, he's a beast. He's destroying it. He's doing everything right. He's the perfect Oiler. So this team is to be reckoned with going in. They're absolutely to be reckoned with. I wanted to look at their numbers just to point out a few things. Okay, so look, if you look at the numbers in the playoffs, Connor McDavid in 12 games, folks, has 7 goals, 19 assists for 26 points, and he's a plus 19. A plus 19. Leon Draisaitl, 12 goals, 7 assists for 19 points. He's a plus 7. You get the picture. Connor McDavid in 12 games has 48 shots on goal. 48. Evander Kane in 12 games has 12 goals, 3 assists. He's a plus 7. And he has 51 shots on goal in 12 games. Draisaitl has 41 shots on goal in 12 games. Oh, sorry, 31. I'm looking at Zibanejad. So, then you get down to Colorado, and their numbers don't have to be as good as Edmonton because they're deep all over the team. So Nathan MacKinnon so far, 10 games, 8 goals, 5 assists. He's a plus 6. And MacKinnon, has 55 shots on goal, folks. So MacKinnon is doing it absolutely. In 10 games, he has 55 shots on goal. Unbelievable. Cale Makar, 10 games, 3 goals, 10 assists, plus 7, 39 shots on goal. We can go on and on. There's no point. No Rantanen, goal, 10 assists. He's got 24 shots on goal. He's a plus 1. Landeskog, quietly, I might say, in 10 games, 6 goals, 5 assists, plus 7, 31 shots on goal. These teams, this is going to be a good series, okay? This is going to be a good series. And I've been saying before, I've went with the McDavid factor in the other series. This is what I've been saying from the beginning because I believe that Connor McDavid is the best player since Mario Lemieux. I've been saying this for years. I've been saying it long before he came into the NHL. This is going to be the best player we've seen in this league since Mario Lemieux. No disrespect to Sidney Crosby, but Crosby's the whole package of physical, grinding, offensive talent, all of it. He's just, and I think he'll have better numbers in his career than Sidney Crosby. I think we all do by this point, but that doesn't take away anything from Sidney Crosby. Crosby is a monster, what he did in his career and his time. So I'm going to go in this series with another upset, guys. I'm going to go with the Oilers in 6. I think that McDavid can't be stopped. Till I see a team stop Connor McDavid, I don't think they can beat them. And the main reason I'm going to go is, and I'm going to give you the main reason why, besides Connor McDavid, is Darcy Kuemper. I just don't think that Kuemper is peaking at the right time. If you look at Kemper's numbers, they don't lie. This is as good as he's played. Kuemper's numbers are His goals against are 2.44. That sounds really good. But then you get to a save percentage of 904. That's alarming. That is very alarming, okay? He has the sixth best goals against average, okay? But let's check in save percentage where he stands. He's 13th. He's 13th and he's 906. Guys, it's not good enough. And he's going to have to pick there. He's 904, sorry. He's not, he's going to have to fix that if there's still time. Sometimes you don't have time in the playoffs. These games just happen and it's over. Now, Mike Smith's save percentage is 927. Okay, and his goals against, let me just get to it. Mike Smith's goals against is 270. They can match the goaltending of Colorado. They got a chance for sure because their forwards are going off. And I'll tell you what, Colorado, and if I seen Colorado let's say Colorado put it to 7 and win, I still see Colorado being beaten in the finals because Colorado, I got to see killer instinct from Colorado. I haven't seen one in years. And yes, they showed it last game, but they kind of escaped last game in St. Louis more than showed a killer instinct. They outplayed them, they did. But they should have won that game like 5-1 going away, and they didn't. And that's alarming. It is. It's just alarming. So Tampa Bay and Colorado could happen. I'm going with the upsets, guys. I just am. I got a feeling that the Rangers are peaking at the right time. I think they have as good a coaching as John Cooper. I'm a big believer in Gerard Gallant. I always have been. I've been a fan of his since he was an assistant here in Montreal. I've always liked him. They had a show called Habs 24 out here. You got to see Gallant behind the scenes. He takes no crap from anybody. Nothing. He has no mercy. And then that's why he can handle a zoo like New York. Because he can handle, I'm sure he can handle the media, all of it, this guy. This guy's a leader. So the Rangers are in great hands, are in great shape. I'm picking the Rangers there. I'll say it again, in 7 to win that series. And I think the Oilers are the upstart team. Do I think Colorado can beat them? Sure. Sure I do. Of course I do. I'd be crazy not to. I'm just picking them in an upset at this particular time. I might feel different 2 weeks later when, let's say if the series started in a month from now and things were a little different. I'm just going with the momentum of what I see. Both these guys got 26 points each. I don't know if the Oilers can be stopped. I tell you, folks, it's like the Matrix revisited because this is like the 80s, kind of what's going on with this team. They just score, and there's nothing the league can do but watch, it seems. So if Colorado can close the door on these guys, then we have a different story. We shall see. All right, so I got the Oilers in 6 there. So I got the Oilers and the Rangers making it to the finals. Call me crazy, I know, but I just think changing of the guard is coming. We'll see. All right, guys, have a good one. See you later on.